Welcome to the world of F1. We've had 8 races, 4 different winners, and a Red Bull that doesn't look as dominant as it used to be. As Max Verstappen often points out, there are inherent problems with the Red Bull's 2023 and now 2024 car. Ferrari has made massive upgrades in Imola and McLaren took a big jump in Miami. Both teams are now very competitive with the Red Bull, creating intense competition among the top 3 teams, but does this mean that Red Bull is falling behind? And how are Ferrari and McLaren's strengths highlighting Red Bull's weaknesses? If you're new here, please do subscribe, your support means the world to me, so let's dive into the current state of the top 3 teams and the Red Bull's inherent problems. Red Bull has probably had the worst streak in these new regulations over the last 3 races. Despite this, they still finished P2, P1 and P6. And that's not bad at all. However, they struggled to find the right setup in Miami. Imola cost them, and Monaco was also a huge challenge for them. The common issue for Red Bull on these tracks, especially street circuits, seems to be the curbs and the bumps. Red Bull's car traditionally runs with the lowest ride height, making it fast in high-speed corners on traditional tracks like Barcelona and Spa. The RB20 has improved on the RB19's weaknesses in the slow-speed corners, possibly by adjusting the ride height somewhere between the RB18 and RB19's balance to balance high-speed corners and slow-speed performance. But as other teams upgrade, Red Bull's advantage has gone down, it has diminished. Monaco and Imola exposed Red Bull's weaknesses with the curbs, Max Verstappen struggled with the setup and the understeer, while Sergio Perez has been off the pace the whole race weekend. Despite these issues, Red Bull's car remains strong. Monaco is always an outlier where unexpected teams can shine, and it's a specialist track for Charles Leclerc, who has excelled there with pole positions in 2021, 2022 and now in 2024. I mean, that's kind of understandable. He lives there, he's born there, he understands the track by heart, he knows every centimeter of that track, so it's kind of obvious. Ferrari and McLaren though have benefited from their car setups, particularly the ride height. On tracks with curbs, Red Bull's stiffer suspension, which helps them in high-speed corners, results in a very bumpy ride. Even Max described it as feeling like a kangaroo, with the car almost breaking his back by the end of the Grand Prix. Ferrari's opposite suspension setup has proven effective, even silencing critics. McLaren, with a similar suspension to Red Bull, has also found success, way more than Red Bull though. Ferrari's updates have improved their performance in both high-speed and low-speed corners, making their car a very strong contender in the championship. Leclerc did adapt well as well, showing strong performance in Imola and Monaco. Carlos Sainz also started the season strong, but Leclerc has the edge with the upgrades. He is the number 1 driver in Ferrari, he's obviously gonna get the upgrades first. As the season progresses, Ferrari and McLaren cars have shown strength in various conditions. McLaren has reduced drag and balanced their car for both high speed and low speed performance, making them a very strong contender in the championship. If Oscar Piastri had combined his best sectors from Q3, he would have outpaced Leclerc, which means he would have taken pole. So that should highlight McLaren's potential going forward. If Oscar Piastri did get a perfect lap, he would have destroyed Leclerc, which is interesting because this makes the season interesting finally again. Head to Canada, Red Bull might struggle again due to the curbs. They have those issues, which Ferrari and McLaren can handle way better than they can. Max has mentioned that the simulator is not accurately reflecting on their on-track performance, and that's a rare complaint from Red Bull, but with Adrian Newey's departure, there seems to be an added pressure on the team to make everything work. Despite these challenges, Red Bull is still a top team, but the competition is much closer now. Ferrari and McLaren can beat them on certain tracks. Canada could also be another close race with the curbs, and Barcelona might also be competitive depending on the tire wear for the different cars. As we've seen, some cars seems to have beautiful tire wear compared to other. The degradation of the tires seems to be hard for some. We have seen Williams, for example, having huge issues with tire wear. Alex Albon have been shouting about it for a couple of races now, so we'll see what happens. But what are your thoughts on the top 3 teams? Do you think there will be a competitive season? I do believe so. If you look at the other seasons, these past few seasons we've had, this might be one of the most exciting seasons we've had in a decade. So we should see more in Canada, with other teams like Mercedes also bringing upgrades to catch up. If I'm not mistaken, I think Toto Wolff said that he's gonna bring updates every single race coming out, so we'll see what Mercedes can cough up. But please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Please like, please subscribe, and tell me if I need to do something in a different way, talking in a different way, talk slower, faster. This is my first video, so I'm looking for all the help I need, and thank you for your support. Peace out.